First of all, you have to clone this branch, build GraphQL APIs with Node.js and MongoDB. You can use this URL, git clone. I have already cloned my project. After successfully cloned the project, you need to check out the starter git branch. Git checkout starter git. Let me check the name of the branch. We have a starter git branch. And if you're using VS Code, you can check out the branch here from the starter git branch. Here we have starter git branch. If you run the project, I have already set up some of the boilerplate code. You can start the server by using npm start. Let me check my package.json file. I have created these scripts. I'm already using the nodemon, and this is our main index.js or main entry file. I'm using Babel to transpile our ES6 code to ES5. These are all the dev dependencies. And let me show you. Here we have app.js. There is a simple script here. We have added the one constant start. You will see this message, welcome to Node starter git. And I'm using Babel to transpile our ES6 code to ES5. That's it. Now we are going to create a new Express server. First of all, we need to install the Express server. I'm gonna use npm to install the Express. I have to use the ---- safe here. Express server has installed. Now we need to set up the Express server. You need to import the Express module. Here I'm importing the Express module. Let's create a new application from the Express interface. Express. You can also define the port. Let me define port. I'm going to use 3000. Let's create the route app.get. It will take a request handler. I'm going to use arrow function. So this is our root route or basic or parent route. Let me return some message here. I'm going to send rest dots. You can send the message by calling this method, send method. Hello GraphQL. Now we need to set the port. I need to tell this is my port. Port is 3000. You can also log the message. I'm gonna use backtick here. Server is running at port 3000. So I'm gonna use port variable. Now we need to start the server by using the npm start. The server is running now at port 3000. So we need to go to the localhost :3000. Here we have hello GraphQL. You can see that hello GraphQL. Hello GraphQL here. If you will update, this nodemon will automatically reload the application. You will see the message here, hello GraphQL here. Let's create the GraphQL server. I am going to use this package, Express GraphQL and GraphQL tools. Let's install both of this package. This package is used to create the GraphQL server in Express.js application. I also need to install the GraphQL tools. It will generate the schema file for us. We will provide the type definition file and resolver. It will generate the schema for us. So the name of the package is GraphQL tools. Both the packages have installed. Let's import the GraphQL HTTP. So we need to import this Express GraphQL package. I'm going to name it to GraphQL HTTP from Express GraphQL. So how can you create the GraphQL server? We need to register a new middleware. Basically, you use app.use method to register the Express middleware. So GraphQL HTTP is nothing more, it's a middleware. It can also accept an options. You can also specify the path here. This is our base path. I'll show you why do I need to create this path /GraphQL. It will send the request at this endpoint. Here we need to provide schema. I did not create a schema. I'll show you how to create the schema. And you can also specify GraphQL. This is a GUI interface to send the GraphQL request or to send the GraphQL queries and mutation. I'll talk more about this GraphQL. Now it's time to generate the schema. I'm going to create a new file inside the source folder. The name of the file is schema.js. And I also need a resolvers. I'll talk more about what are these resolvers. So we need to import the make executable from the GraphQL tools. Let's define the schema here. Let's type definition. Type definition. Everything is type in GraphQL. Basically, you define the types. So I'm going to define the type. Let's say it's a query type. And inside the query type, I have a hello field. Let's say hello field. And it will return the string. Now I need to export this schema. I'm going to use the make executable schema method from the GraphQL tools. My Visual Studio Code has already imported this make executable schema. What it will accept type definition and resolvers. So I need to import resolver here. I did not create the resolver. So you can use it here. Resolvers. From resolvers, I did not create the resolver object. Like why do we need resolvers? So each type or each field will have a resolver. Let me show you. I am going to create a new resolver. Open the resolvers.js here. Resolvers is an object. So we have a query type. So I told you each type will have a resolver. And inside the query type, we have a hello field. So each resolver will take 4 arguments. The first argument is parent or the root. Let's say I'm going to call it parent. Second argument is args. Context. The third argument is context. I'm going to name it to ctx. The third argument is info object. Let's return the hello field because the return type of the hello is string. I'm going to say hello GraphQL. Hello GraphQL. I need to export these resolvers. So I'm going to export it here. Now I can import this resolver. So that's it. Now we need to start the server. I got the error. Let me show you what did I get? Oops, cannot find GraphQL module. Okay, because GraphQL tools and Express GraphQL use the native GraphQL package. So we need to install it, GraphQL. Let me restart the server again. I got the error. Schema is not defined. I think I did not import the schema. Yeah, I did not import the schema object. So we need to import it here. Import schema from the schema file. Now it looks good. So we have specified this path. Look, /GraphQL. I need to go to this endpoint localhost :3000 /GraphQL. Woohoo, this is a GrapHQL. Facebook has created this GrapHQL interface to send the GraphQL mutation and queries. Here you can send the GraphQL operations. Let's say here we have docs. This is a fantastic feature. GraphQL provides the documentation explorer. I have only query type Here you can see that we have defined the query type and there is only one field, hello. So the return type of hello is string. So how can you write the queries in GraphQL? You can also provide here query hello. Let me execute the query. Boom. Now you will see this message. Hello GraphQL. So each field must have a resolver. If you will not specify the resolver, it will give you the error. Let me show you. I'm going to restart the application again. Now you will see the hello is null. If I am comment, let me comment this query object. Let's restart the server. Now you will see that there is nothing here. So you must need to specify the resolver for each field. Let's remove the comments. So far we have created the middleware. This is the /GraphQL. We are mounting the GraphQL server on this endpoint and it is used to create the GraphQL server. You need to specify the schema. Inside the schema, we have defined our schema definition and we have created the schema and it is going to return the schema and each field must have a resolvers. Let's talk about GraphQL resolver arguments. Each resolver function will have 4 arguments. The first one is parent. This is the root value. I'll talk more about the root value in the later videos. The args option, you can also provide the arguments. Let's say I'm going to provide the argument here. It should be message and the type of the message variable is string. And I'm going to set it to required. This exclamation sign means it's a required property. You must need to provide the message variable. And I'm also going to make this string. The return type of this hello is string and it is required property. So string, you must need to return the string. Let's say, let me refresh the browser. Now you will see the message field hello argument message type of the string is required but not provided. So we need to provide the message here. Hello GraphQL. Now you can use this message. Let's say I'm going to return the same message. How can you get the arguments? You can use this args.message. Now you will see the hello GraphQL. Let's say this time I'm going to send the different message. Hello GraphQL here. Now you will see this message. So what about the context? This object is used to share the properties or object to multiple resolvers. If you will have a multiple resolvers, the same context will be available to each resolver function. So let's say I'm going to add a context object here. Let's say I'm going to add the current user property. Let's say it's a logged in user. I'm going to save the ID of the user. Let's say it's 1. So I can get the context here. Let's log the context. Context.user. It will log the user object. Let me send the request. Boom. You will see this 1 here. You can see that context.user. So this is how the context is very useful property. You can add the models here. Let's say if I will have the Mongoose model, I will add into the context. What about the info? This is raw data from the GraphQL abstract syntax tree. Let's log the info here. I'm going to log it here. Info, it will tell you the GraphQL request. Let's send the request. Here is a long object. Field name is hello. It will tell you the metadata. It is going to give us the metadata, field node, and the kind of field, alias, undefined, arguments is an array, stuff like that. Parent type is query, GraphQL schema, all this stuff is available for you. First of all, we need to start the MongoDB server. Open your terminal and execute this command MongoD, it will start the MongoDB server. Open another tab. Now I need to run the Mongo shell. Let's create a new database. You have to use this use command and write the name of the database. I'm going to use GQL_DB. Our database has created. There is no collection here inside the GQL_DB. Now we need to install the Mongoose. I will use the Mongoose inside our application. Mongoose is an ODM object document wrapper on the top of MongoDB. Let's import the Mongoose from the Mongoose package. I want to use promises here inside the Mongoose. By default, Mongoose works with callbacks. So we need to tell the Mongoose, I would like to use the native promise. Mongoose provides the connect method to connect with MongoDB. Here we need to provide the URI or connection string. You have to follow this pattern, MongoDB localhost and the name of our database. We have created the GQLDB. Let's try to run the project. Everything is working now. What is wrong? Parser is deprecated and will be removed in the future. To use the new parser, use new URL parser to true. If you will get this warning message, you have to add these options here. Use new URL parser. Now it is going to give me the same error. You can also specify the port here. By default, MongoDB is running on this port 27017. Now it looks good. There is no warning message here. So you have to add the port and this option. Use new URL parser. Now it's time to create a new model. I'm going to create a new models directory. Let's create a new product model. I need to import the Mongoose package. Mongoose provides the schema class, so we need to use the schema class. Mongoose.schema. I need to create a new object from the schema. Let's say I'm going to name it to product schema. Let me create a new object. Let's provide the options here or properties of our product. We have name property and the type of name is string. And yes, it is required property. I also have a QTY field and the type of QTY is number. It's not a required field. And finally, we need to export the instance of this model. You can use this mongoose.model. It will return the instance. So let me write the name of the model product and we need to provide our product schema. So we have created this product model and we have connected to our MongoDB. Let's write the query to fetch all the products. So I'm going to create a new field, all products. It will return the array of product. So we are returning the array of product, but I did not define this product field or product type. So we need to define our custom type, product type. Inside the product type, I will have the ID field and I have a name field. The type of name is string and I have a QTY. The type of QTY is integer. GraphQL provides the int type. You can also add validation for name. Let's say name is required property, or you can also add validation here. You must need to return the products. So I'm going to run the project. Let's try to run that. Make sure your MongoDB is running. I deleted this hello field. Let me check the docs. Here we have all products, but I did not create the resolver for all products. You can also execute the query in this format. Let's say I'm gonna execute the query for all products. It is going to return the array of products, but I want to see in the response ID, I want to see name, and I also want to see QTY in the response. All products is null because I did not create the resolver. Let's create that. All products. Each resolver function will take 4 arguments. This first argument is parent. I'm gonna use Lodash, or you can choose any name here. Parent, args, context, and info. I don't need any arguments, so I'm gonna return the array of products. Let me mark that. Let's say it's a MongoDB ID. Name is GrapHQL course. Let me add the QTY. Let's say it's 1. Now I'm gonna execute that. Cool. Here we have ID, GraphQL name of the course, and the QTY. So we need to save a new record into the MongoDB. So we have created the query. If you want to save the new record, or if you want to mutate the data in GraphQL, GraphQL provides the mutation. So you have to create a new mutation type. Inside the mutation type, I'm going to create a new field, create product. It will accept the input as an argument. This time the type of the input is product input. I did not create this product input yet, and it will return the product. So let's create the input type. This time you need to use this input keyword, product input. And what you want, I want to get the name and QTY from the arguments. The type is string, QTY is string. I don't need ID. MongoDB automatically create the ID for me. You can also add validation for name. Let's say name is required. Let's create the new mutation type. So we have defined a new mutation type, mutation. So each type must have a resolver. So inside the mutation, I have a create product. Let's do it here. Create product. There is no parent. I need an args. Or you can use the destructuring here. I'm going to destructure the input object. You can also use async await here. So we need to import the product model because I want to save a new record in the product model, models and product. Let's use async await here. New product dot create. I need to return first, then we need to apply await expression. Await expression only works with promises. This product.create will return the promise. When promise will be resolved, it will return a newly created product. Remember that you can see that the return type is product. We have to return the product. Let's try to test it. Let me check the docs. If we have mutation type, let me show you. Inside the mutation type, we have a create product, and we need to specify the product input. Inside the product input, we have a name and QTY. So how do you perform the mutation? You have to use the mutation keyword, create product input, and I'm going to provide name here. Let's say the name is GraphQL course, QTY is 10. So we must need to tell I want to access the ID in the response. Let's say that expected type string, found 10. Let me check the, oops, I need to use int here. Let's do it again. Aha, a product has created. You can also see the name and the QTY in the response. This time I'm going to create a brand new product, Node.js course. A product has created. Now we need to get records from the MongoDB. I would like to fetch all the products. I have already defined the all products here. So inside the resolver, I need to use async here because I'm going to use async await. I have already imported the product model. I don't need to return the mock products. This time we need to fetch the products from the product collection, product.find. That's it. It will return all the products. Let me start the server. Let's try to fetch all the products. All products. I want to see ID, name, and QTY. We have found 2 products because we have created 2 products in our database. So you can also find a single product. Let me show you how can you implement it. So we need to create a get product field. The return type is product. So let's create the resolver. This get product will accept the ID argument because I would like to find the product by ID. Now we need to write the resolver for get product. Async get product. There is no parent here. I would like to destructure the ID. I can use find by ID method, find by ID, and we need to provide the ID. That's it. Let's say I want to find the GrapHQL course product. Let me refresh that. You will see the get product here. So get product. Let me define or provide my ID. So I want to see the name of the course in the response. Here we have GrapHQL course.